Hello, Glow Getters. Today is day 2 of setting yourself up for success. So there's roughly 10 tips in this segment. And in case we haven't met, I am Joanne Brown and I am the host of The Connected CEO. And, I'm trying to organize myself here. And I help women turn their passion into profits and live in purpose and create impact in their community and enjoy their freedom. So this started with me reaching out to the community to find out topics that are important to you. And so with this series, I was surprised to find out how many women that had been with companies 20 and 30 years had recently been laid off for whatever reason, and the fear of having to find something else to do. And I never like to use the term starting over, because quite honestly, you can't start over when you've got all this experience behind you. So that's number one. It's not starting over, because it doesn't matter where you go or whatever you end up doing going forward, you're going to take that experience with you. And I do believe as women, we kind of shortchange all of the experience that we have. But that will come on day 10 when I talk about the your employment opportunities. So yesterday we talked about sitting back and trying to taking time to figure out for yourself what success looks like for you. And write it down. And everyone's opinion of success is different. Everyone's idea of success, it looks different. And when you write that down, start to think of someone who models that. So the number one thing is model success. Find someone that you can follow that has the same values, who it doesn't necessarily have to be pursuing the same career, but lives the way that you would like to live, and someone that you can really focus on how they got where they are. And then find ways, think about how you would act being that person. I always start with the standing up straight and putting a smile on your face and making eye contact. Those are easy ones, and those can just elevate you just a little bit. Yes, at this stage in our game, thinking about something, charting a new course can be very scary. I acknowledge that, and you should acknowledge it too. But it doesn't mean that we sit back and we don't do anything, because fear can certainly paralyze us. And just by making minor shifts, we can change a lot of things for ourselves. So number 1 is model success. Number 2 is make new decisions. My first thing would be, you've already made a decision by watching this video, and that's a big decision. You've already said, I want to figure out how what I need to do, if there's something else I can do to make myself more successful. So give yourself some grace with that. But understand that the past is gone, and that in order for you to maximize your potential, we're going to have to make decisions differently than we did before. My brain's going a little faster than my mouth today. So that's going to be a tweak that you're going to have to be conscientious of, and bring that to the forefront. The decision to watch this video may have felt like nothing, but it is a big thing, because you could have kept scrolling. You could have gone, there's probably nothing she's going to tell me that I don't already know, and that's fine. And there might not be anything, but it might be something that I remind you, and it might be presented to you differently that you pick it up. So 2 is make a new decision. 3 is to take action. And this is one that I was just talking to a friend of mine this morning about this. When we think about change, a lot of times we think about these huge decisions that we have to make. And we've already shown in 1 and 2, by making minor shifts, by standing up straighter, by smiling, by making eye contact, can raise your vibration and change your mood a little bit. by making a small decision, watching a video, reading a motivational passage, doing some reflection. Those things can change your attitude to raise you up. So those are already actions that you're taking. So the actions don't have to be huge. You just have to take action. And so this is an execution stage. So you just want to make sure that you're plugging in. You're sitting there and you're going, okay, I've got to figure out my plan. You sit down, you write your plan, you know who you're going to follow, what that success looks like to you. Now we've got it going in a direction. And this is where a lot of us want to know everything plotted out. We want to have all the answers. And I'm going to tell you, it doesn't matter. Yes, you know that, the next step you're going to take. But after that step may change because you've taken that step. So you don't have to have everything figured out as you go along. Hi, Sandy. Thanks for joining again today. So be patient. Looking at your map, you're not going to know everything, and it's okay. It's just important that you're moving forward. We've got to get the moving forward. Doing something and doing it daily, doing anything daily, is so important, and it gets you in the direction that you need to go. And then 4 is raise your standards. When you want more out of your life, you have to expect more from yourself. And this was hard for me initially. When I started out, I thought I could just kind of coast, dabble a little bit. I don't need to do this all the time. And then I wasn't where I wanted to be. So then, of course, those stories of, but I didn't do what I was supposed to do, which was on number 2, which was change the way I was thinking. I was falling back into old habits. So raising my standard meant that I also had to change my decision making. So you understand, there's almost like when you're doing these steps, one builds on the other and builds and builds and builds. So you find yourself saying, okay, if I haven't, I think I've raised my standards, but then I'm not achieving what I want. Well, that's because I've fallen back into not changing the way that I think. So, and how many times have we been in a situation where, like I just said, I've caught myself doing this before. I should exercise. I should lose weight. I should look for another job. Most of the time before we get fired, we kind of have that feeling that something's not right. We hear there's this coming down the pike, and many of us stay in comfort before we update our resume. Many of us stay where we necessarily don't want to be because, it's satisfying most of my needs right now, but we're not growing. So, how many times has someone said, I should start my own business? So this is the phase where you stop shoulding all over yourself and you're going to do. So this is the phase where you make the commitment and you're making it to yourself. You're making it to yourself that you are going to raise your standards, and you're going also to push yourself out of your comfort zone. And you're going to do something, you're going to want more for you. Reach your potential. It's going to be scary. Definitely going to be scary. But how will you feel in 6 months if you don't do it? How will you feel in a year if you don't do it? What's life going to look like for you? And how are you going to, what will your life look like if you don't do it? What will your life look like if you do it? And yes, there's always unknown. It doesn't matter whether you work for someone else or you work on your own. There's going to be an unknown. But what satisfies you? What gets you excited? So this is the shoulds turns into musts, and this is where you're going to commit to making a commitment to yourself, to raising your standards and pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. And those, if you start with those 4 things, you're on your way. You're on your way. So tomorrow I will do 5 and 6. I will have to pre-record tomorrow. I have a noon appointment tomorrow, but I will be here for you. And in the meantime, if you are stuck, if you're not sure, if the fear is a little overwhelming to you, send me a message. We can hop on a call. I can help you through it. My mission in life is to get more and more people doing what they love doing. And if you love doing what you do, you're going to be a happier, more giving, more satisfied, gratified individual, which means that you're going to rise up and you're going to share that with your community. And so, and as my favorite analogy is, and then I can't remember it, of course. The rising tides lifts all boats. That's it. So my goal is that we're the rising tides and we lift the boats. And so that's my goal, is to get more and more people doing what they love. And then that way they'll impact their community and lift more boats up. So, and lift other individuals up. So until tomorrow, make it a great day and lift and rise your tide.